There's something deeply satisfying about turning everyday waste into something rich, living, and powerful. If you've ever wondered how gardeners seem to have endlessly fertile soil, the secret often isn't expensive fertilizer, it's compost. Today, on Garden Smart, we're breaking down composting in the simplest, most practical way possible. No complicated science, no intimidating jargon, just a real, proven method that works whether you've got a backyard or just a small patch of land. By the end of this guide, you'll not only understand composting, you'll be ready to start your own pile immediately and do it right. Before we dig in, take a second to like, share, and subscribe to Garden Smart. Drop your questions in the comments too. We love helping you grow better, smarter gardens. Now let's get straight into it. Compost isn't just dirt. It's broken down organic matter, packed with nutrients that plants absorb slowly, exactly when they need them. That means healthier roots, stronger growth, and better yields. It improves heavy clay soil by loosening it and boosts sandy soil by helping it retain moisture. No matter what you're growing, vegetables, flowers, trees, or even your lawn, compost is one of the most powerful tools you can use. The beauty of composting is that nature already knows how to do it. Your job is simply to guide the process. At its core, composting relies on 4 simple ingredients working together. First, you need green material, which provides nitrogen. This includes kitchen scraps like fruit peels, vegetable waste, coffee grounds, and fresh grass clippings. These materials fuel the bacteria that break everything down. Second, you need brown material, your carbon source. Think cardboard, newspaper, dry leaves, or sawdust. These balance out the greens and keep the pile from becoming too wet or smelly. Third comes moisture. Your pile should feel like a wrung-out sponge, not dripping wet, but not dry either. Water activates the microbes that drive decomposition. Finally, air is crucial. Compost needs oxygen to support the right kind of bacteria. Without it, the pile turns into a slow, smelly mess instead of rich compost. When these 4 elements are in balance, the process works quickly and efficiently. A good rule to follow is simple. If it came from a plant, it's usually safe to compost. Fruit and vegetable scraps, grass clippings, leaves, and even coffee grounds all break down beautifully. Brown materials are just as easy to gather. Cardboard from packages, shredded paper, and dry leaves are excellent choices. Sawdust is especially effective because of its fine texture, which speeds up decomposition. There are a few things you should avoid. Glossy paper and coated cardboard don't break down well and may contain unwanted chemicals. Meat, dairy, and oily foods can attract pests and create unpleasant odors. While they technically decompose, they're not worth the trouble in a simple compost setup. Starting your pile doesn't require fancy equipment. If you have space, building directly on the ground is one of the best methods. This allows worms and beneficial organisms to naturally enter and help finish the compost. Begin by layering your materials. Add a layer of brown, then green, then brown again. As you build, mix the layers together, rather than leaving them separated. Compost works best when everything is blended. As you add dry materials like cardboard or sawdust, lightly water the pile. Keep checking the moisture level as you go. If it feels too dry, add water. If it's too wet, mix in more brown material. A good target is roughly equal parts green and brown by volume. It doesn't have to be perfect. Composting is forgiving, and small imbalances can be corrected over time. Once your pile is built, the real magic begins. Within a few days, a well-balanced pile will start to heat up. That heat comes from microbial activity and is a sign everything is working. Turning your compost is key. This means mixing it thoroughly to introduce air and prevent materials, especially grass clippings, from clumping together. In the early stages, Turning every day or every few days helps maintain oxygen flow and keeps the process active. If the pile starts to smell unpleasant, that's usually a sign it needs more air or more brown material. If it looks dry and inactive, it likely needs water or more green material. Over time, you'll notice the materials breaking down. What once looked like scraps will gradually turn into dark, crumbly compost. Composting doesn't have to take forever. With regular turning and proper balance, you can produce usable compost in as little as 6 to 8 weeks. A more relaxed, low-maintenance approach may take a bit longer, but the end result is just as valuable. Finished compost looks and feels like rich soil. You won't recognize the original materials, and it will have an earthy smell. At this stage, it's ready to use in your garden. You can spread it around plants, mix it into soil, or even store it for later use. Any larger pieces that haven't fully broken down can simply go back into a new pile. Keep extra brown materials on hand so you can adjust your pile anytime it gets too wet or heavy with greens. Turn frequently in the early stages, especially if you're using a lot of grass clippings. Pay attention to moisture, and don't overthink the process. Composting is as much about observation as it is about technique. Let nature do the heavy lifting. Composting is one of the most rewarding habits any gardener can develop. It reduces waste, saves money, and dramatically improves your soil. Best of all, it's simple once you understand the basics. If you found this guide helpful, make sure to subscribe to Garden Smart. Share this with someone who wants to start composting and drop your thoughts or questions in the comments. Your garden and your soil will thank you.